So admittedly, we took a much longer break from looking at all the different Winsor Newton colored inks than I originally planned, so let's get back into it by taking a look at Brilliant Green. What's up guys, I'm J-Rod of battlebrawlerproductions, your new channel. Welcome. We craft amazing comic book style illustrations for a variety of different mediums. I don't think you guys understand just how excited I am to taking a look at Winsor Newton once again. They are one of my favorite art companies of all time, and I'm really excited to be taking a look at their colored inks as always left press, and I'm really excited to be getting into this one. But just to let you guys know, these are half wells and this is a full ink well. So this one is $5.99 and this is $8.99, so quite a bit of a price difference. Now they only make the waterproof, non-waterproof, silver, and gold inks in a full size. All the other colors are these half size right here, which I love the little container. I just think the artwork's always so cool on these. You can pop it open, and if you look on the front of the little well, you can see they have the same illustration, but instead of all the different colors, they only have the color of the ink itself, which I really like. And again, super solid, super sturdy glass bottle. Really like these things. So let's go ahead and break out our sketchbook and really take a look at this guy, because I'm really excited to see what kind of shade of green we have right here. I really like that green. First off, the gradient, really nice. Second, the actual color of it is really good. Now, as we're using a colored ink with our dip pen, the color is going to be more concentrated. As we are using more of it from our inkwell, you can see it gets lighter. That's standard for a lot of colored inks. This would be really good for calligraphy work. Like, Brilliant Green is the perfect name for this because this is a beautiful and brilliant color. I love the shade of green. Green isn't one of my favorite colors, to be completely honest, but I always like the look of it, mainly because it goes well with so many colors, and it also just works with a lot of my color schemes. It's such a beautiful color. And this line was made with my Speedball 512, so let's go ahead and take a look at my Quill 102 and see what kind of lines we can get. I'm gonna imagine just really thin, super dark green concentrated lines, and of course I am right. Oh, accidentally overdid it a little bit. You can see they're definitely getting lighter as the ink starts to thin on the nib, but let's go ahead and do a quick brush test just to see what kind of shade of green we're gonna get. Traditionally with colored inks, when you go in with a brush, they're gonna be much lighter because you are thinning them out far more than the actual dip pen is going to do, mainly because you are concentrating that. So let's just see what we got, and of course we're going to use one of my favorite brushes of all time, the Kolinsky Mimic Round 3. Let's get a good solid dip and go in, and yeah, I love this shade of green. Like this is just super beautiful and gorgeous. I love this. It looks so good. Green is not one of my favorite colors, but I'm a sucker for good green. Like, this is amazing. Now, some people often ask me, what is the point of using a colored ink? Well, it really depends on the type of art you're doing, and it also depends on just personal preference. Some people prefer to use colored ink. For me, I like to use colored ink in ways that I can't use watercolor, for example. If I need something that's going to be waterproof but still have a semi-transparent medium, that's when I like to use colored inks, or just to add a little bit of flair to the ink work, or just to do something unique. Like, there's a lot of different reasons why you would want to use a colored ink over watercolor, and while it's still wet, you can see I can go in with water and thin it out similar to an ink wash that you do with normal black ink. Really nice. I love this shade of green. Like, this looks just absolutely amazing and freaking gorgeous. Like, again, green isn't one of my favorite colors, but I think green is just a really nice, beautiful color that for some reason I use a lot of. I think I actually have more green watercolor than any other color, which is weird because red is my absolute favorite color, and I do like purples and blues far more than I do green. So, interesting observation I'm making of myself. Either way, so we're definitely gonna have a lot of fun making our illustration, and speaking of which, let's go ahead and get into what we'll be drawing with this. Today's illustration is our supervillain Gluttony, and I'm really excited about this one because it's a little bit of an experimental piece. Now, I did pencil this about 2 years ago, so the anatomy isn't perfect. It's not really up to my normal standards that I have right now, but it is still an experimental piece that I really want to bring to life because I think it's going to be something that you guys will like. A little bit graphical, a little experimental, but we're really going to have fun just making this piece something unique and fun. So let's go ahead and get into it with that super time lapse. Inking this piece was fun, but it was definitely a challenge, mainly in two areas. For one, this is not how I normally do anatomy me right now, so it's not at the highest level, and I kind of had to go back older habits that I developed out of as an artist. And also the lettering was really challenging, mainly because I've always had bad handwriting all of my life, so this was definitely one where I really had to pay a lot of attention to make sure I was making everything nice and legible. And while the ink did spill in a few places, not because it's a bad ink, but because of a bad technique I was using and just a slip of the hand, I have to say I really like how it formed. For one, I love being able to go in and control the intensity of the green, so I can have it be really dark in the shadow areas or the bottom areas, and then have it be really light for the areas that were closer to my light source, so I really liked that. Second, I also really like how it layered. When it came to using this ink with a brush, it performed phenomenally well, and in my opinion that's really the strength of different colored inks. The fact that you can go in and do pseudo watercolor techniques with them is really cool. The main reason I'm doing that is because they are both semi-transparent mediums, and I love the fact that I go in and just keep layering everything from light to dark. It is an additive medium, of course, just like watercolor, so you're always going to be adding and never subtracting, but I had a lot of fun, so I just kept going in and building up my tones and values. I was having a lot of fun really going in and sculpting the lighting to really match the different curvature of tongue for the letters and my light source. This was a really fun exercise. It was a total experiment. I had no idea if this was even going to work, but I really like what I have, and it's definitely something we will revisit because I did do a couple other sketches in this style. Again, super experimental, but I really want to kind of push that experiment and see what I can do with it. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. There is no grand reveal, mainly because we're, as you can tell, only halfway done with this. So let's go ahead and just get into my final thoughts. And we're done, question mark. We're actually going to finish this piece next week when we take a look at another Winsor Newton ink. This is a beautiful shade of green, and I really like this ink. Taking a look at the Winsor Newton inks again, I absolutely love the quality. And while they're not the most affordable color inks, they definitely are some of the most high quality, and their coloring and pigments are absolutely gorgeous. Now, this is an India ink, so it's going to be waterproof, but not alcohol marker proof. But I love the coloring of it. I like how you can go in and do pseudo watercolor techniques with this. I love how it's waterproof, so I can layer it. I also like how it dilutes. Overall, this is probably my favorite green ink I have ever looked at. I absolutely love it, so I'm really excited for next week when we get to finish this piece and really tie it together with another Winsor Newton ink. I know what a lot of people are going to say. I am a Winsor Newton fanboy. I'm going to rate this highly because of that. No, I am a Winsor Newton fanboy, yes, but I do hold them to a high standard. So I've talked before how their white ink is very low quality and how I'm not a big fan of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to rate this dude an 8 out of 10 on my scale of 1 to 10. The main reason being that while yes, it is a really high quality ink, in fact, it's probably the nicest green ink I've used, it is a little bit on the pricey side, considering the fact that this sells for $5.99 depending on where you go for half a fluid ounce, and the Dr. P.H. Martin is going to be more readily available at other art stores, and it's also going to be 1 fluid ounce for about $6 to $7.99 depending on where you go, so for $1 or $2 more you do get double the ink. I still think this is a high quality ink. While I have used the color Dr. P.H. Martins in the past, I find that their pigmentation isn't the best, and they often don't work really well when you start to layer them or do more watercolor techniques. So the fact that this was able to do that, still keep a beautiful coloring, was easy to use with a dip pen and brush, that's why I'm going to give it that rating, because I really think it earns it. I absolutely love these inks. They're super fun. I can't wait to take a look at some more. We're still going to hold each one at a standard, so at one point we will go through all 26 colors, so I'm really excited about that. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, both of the artwork. I know it's some older pencils, I know it's not completed, but I love hearing your guys' feedback. And then I also want to hear what you guys think of the ink. Do you like it? Do you use it? Do you actually prefer Dr. P. Martin's more? I would like to hear that in the comment section down below. And if you guys want to purchase any of my artwork, it is of course still available in my ArtStage account for a $1 digital download, along with now physical posters. So it's a great way to help out the channel, plus you guys get some cool art. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm J-Rod at battlebrawlerproductions. I draw upon my own soul, and you guys are the best, so stay tuned for more ink reviews.